Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out GitGUDRacing.com. I have a lot of courses that can help you with that. Now going into the track guide itself, for turn 1, make sure you're seeing this kink in the wall. That's a space where the wall opens up. You really want to position the car here first. So you're going for this space where the wall widens up. When you reach it, then you're going to be braking and turning at the same time. You will go in fourth gear. And what's important to mention here is that you should be trail braking quite along. So you don't want to brake once and that's it, like spike the brakes hard and just go on throttle. You have to stay on the brakes for longer to make the front tires point, because ideally what you need to do, and you can see here in the telemetry, we're just holding the brakes, still holding them. You want to hold them up until you have this cone in the wall in front of you. When this is in the front of your view, then you're going to be pressing the throttle. Get as close as you can to this wall, as close as you can to this cone, and then pushing the throttle. This implies that you should be staying on the brakes for quite a long. So because we're braking and holding the brakes a longer time, we should be softer on the brakes so that we can push the speed into the corner. This will be the faster way to tackle turn 1, and then pushing the throttle in fourth gear. Very, very aggressive. Make sure you're hitting this white and blue curb. If you're not hitting it, it means that you press the throttle a bit too late. You can press it a bit earlier. So use all the space. And by the way, this was done with the fixed setup. But if you want to go even quicker and if you want to race the open series, I highly encourage you to check Go Setups out. They have amazing setups, very quick, and we also have a 10% discount code. Now for the next corner, reference for braking will be this white line in front of you, or the number 3 cone. You want to brake in a straight line. Super important around here is the late apex point. So you will be in second gear, but you don't want to touch the blue and white curb. Look, you just want to go around the gold line just like that, very late apex, and avoid unsettling the car, because if you will touch even a little the curb while you're turning, because this amount of turning and you also have the throttle applied, the car will jump forward and you will lose traction. You will also get away from the ideal line. So make sure you're getting nice and tight, but without touching it, because this is the corner that we want to cut just like that. You will do a throttle lift to cut it properly, but then we'll have the car perfectly positioned for the next corner, because this one leads to a big straight, so it makes sense to sacrifice it a little bit. You will brake at the end of the curb with the blue and white on the right side, and very soft on the brakes in second gear, super late apex. Don't turn into this curb. You just want to wait and wait and wait with long trail braking, and then cut the gold line just like that. This was perfect. So make sure you're taking a late apex. You know you did the right job if when you're pushing the throttle you get at 100% throttle very quickly. Exactly what happened right here. So very important corner. Make sure you're very aggressive on the throttle without going wide by taking a later apex. Now for this corner around here, you're gonna brake before the number 3 cone. You're gonna brake in a straight line. You're gonna brake hard. You will go into ABS. That's perfectly fine. But then you will trail brake more and more in first gear. Super important to use 180 degrees of steering wheel angle, like right here. If you're not doing this with your hands, it's no matter how much you trail brake, the car won't turn enough. So super important, make sure you're using the front tires at the maximum of their ability, and you have to unwind quickly. Look, it took us like 2-3 frames and now we're already at 45 degrees, because when you're pushing throttle, if you have this amount of steering lock, the rears will slide. You don't want that. This leads to a decent straight, so you want to avoid overheating the tires and having wheel spin on corner exit. And now just taking the shortest path to the next braking zone. Put the car on the left side, very close to the white line here. Reference for braking will be once again before the number 3 cone. You're gonna brake, keep the steering wheel straight, go to second gear, and super important to not go completely over the blue and white curb. Just apex around it. You see, being precise on this track rewards you a lot, because you have more control on the way out. Imagine if you're cutting the curbs, the car jumps forward, and you have to wait those extra milliseconds until the platform of the car is balanced once again, compared with just being very tight, very precise, and then on your way out, the car is already the weight of the car is already distributed into the right place. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to do anything. You let the car flow, basically. This is going to be super important. Now, this curb, you can cut it because it will shorten the distance and it won't affect the balance of the car since you have all this space. And now for the next one, we're coming from the right side, going to the left side. A little diagonal under braking. This is the shortest way around the track and this is fastest. At number 3 cone, you're gonna brake. You're gonna brake and turn towards the left side and then turn on the right side. It's not ideal, but once again, this is the faster way around. Make sure you're using this curb because you have to put your left tires on it and then you're gonna turn in second gear. Once again, don't touch the blue and white curb. Just slightly go very close to it, push the throttle aggressively. You should be using this part of the curb in third gear, upshifting early, and now we're heading towards the last sector of the track. So first of all here, make sure you're cutting this curb because ideally what you want to do is to have the car already parallel and very close to the white line. You don't want to get into the center track, so now you're gonna brake diagonally into this one. This is a very uncomfortable corner, so make sure you're cutting here so that the car is already properly positioned. At number 3, you're gonna be applying the brakes, brake in a straight line, go to third gear, and what's important here is to cut this curb without putting that curb in the middle of the car because then the tire will bottom out. So using third gear, the moment that you touch the curb, you should be pressing the throttle. Don't go very aggressive to 100% because you don't want to go very far here on the left. You don't want to touch this curb on the left initially, but then you want to cut it just like that, pointing the car. Here is a bit hard to find the reference, but try to point the car in, it's very hard to say, it's mostly down on feel, but try to still be far away from the white line on the right side. You want to push the car more towards the left. When you land here, like you just stay less than 1 second after you get to this portion and you're going to brake and turn in second gear, getting a very late apex. Notice that we're pushing the tires when the blue and white curb ends, getting very close to 100% throttle quite quickly. And now we're heading towards sunset, last part of the track. So super important, you will turn with 100% throttle without braking, just like that. You will start to be applying the brakes at the white line or slightly before it, and you don't want to brake very hard because ideally what you want is to keep the car with the left tires on the white line just here on the left side, and then trail brake in third gear, going to second gear as you get closer to the bridge, and then before the bridge you're going to be applying the throttle very close to this wall right here, super important, as close as you can get, and then holding the throttle 100%, getting once again close to this apex near the gold line, and then using all the space here on the exit, and that's the lap. Quite technical, but if you want to improve at a quicker pace, GitGUDRacing.com, go setups, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.